Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 Live Feed Spoilers. Coco Vanderwolf is
Oh,
here to provide a certain element of emotional support through this because, listen, we are in this so-called scary week, and I
yep.
think what Big Brother did not tell us is that the real nightmare that we're all going through right now, as Coco Vanderwolf leaves, is that we all have to sit through scary week. Like what is this? This
I
this week
know.
sucks. Like I don't know any other nicer way to say it.
Yeah, I agree. No veto, no HOH, no nothing.
Yeah, like this the funniest thing is this should all be something that we the collective Big Brother fandom agree on, which is just like how terrible this twist is. Like rest assured we still have important things to get to here, but
Mhm.
it's just for some reason instead of even agreeing on this, all the Big Brother fandom is just fighting with each other online because that's
Shocking.
yeah, when you don't give people anything to talk about, you just all turn on each other. And this
No, the fandom just fight.
I know. What can I really say here? No, we'll get into all of it. We'll talk about the Cameron versus Jared showdown, what it
Mhm.
means coming up later this week, some other drama, some question marks about the next HOH.
But before we get into any of that, if you want more Big Brother talk with us, we have a live stream going on tonight over at our Patreon. So all you have to do is click that link in the description and join our Patreon. You can join both of us for our live stream tonight to talk all about Big Brother. We hope to see you there.
Thank you guys so much. Okay, let's get into the zombie competition as it has happened. The only real thing that matters this week, much to our enormous frustration.
Mhm.
Cameron has already won the series of competitions that he was facing off with against Jared. And so he has the power to decide whether he or Jared takes part in the competition on Thursday, which, by the way, we don't know exactly what this competition is going to be. I think a lot of the speculation is that this is going to be like the Caitlin Herman memorial, put the puzzle of herself together in an allotted amount of time, but that's just all a guess. But Cam
Yeah.
has already told Jared and everybody else that, he's gonna do it on Thursday. Real shocker there that Cam and his ego is gonna be like, I'm gonna do this for myself. But if he wins, he comes back. If he does not win it, he leaves. Jared ends up coming back into the game. So that is where things stand with that.
Yeah, it feels a bit like on Survivor where you don't have to do the fire challenge, but you decide to do the fire challenge because you're like, I need to just show that I can do it. I mean, that's been a more recent thing that's been going on with people doing that, but that's kind of what it feels like. I mean, it makes more sense to throw somebody else into the challenge that probably won't be able to do it and then you're just safe. But, he feels confident.
Yeah, and if he feels confident, good for you, Cam. I don't know if I'd feel confident in anything when I don't even know what the challenge is. Like that's the big part of what makes all of this a little bit weird.
It's true, but they do recycle a lot of challenges on this show. So if he's watched even a little bit of Big Brother, he'll probably know what to expect. Like what you said. Oh, could they be bringing back that puzzle challenge? Okay, well, they've had that on the show before. I think he'll figure it out.
Yeah, and if he does that, he will probably be okay. But who really knows? It's a lot when the pressure is on you and your
Mhm.
brain starts to like turn to mush.
For sure. Okay, so the house is somewhat split on who they want back, with, Corey and America and Matt and Jag are more like leaning towards wanting Cameron back.
Okay, I've struggled a lot with this personally, just because as we said in the last video, why did it have to be these two who were stuck to competing? Can we bring back Izzy? I would much rather have Izzy back than either one of these guys. But
Same.
okay, for me personally, just personal feelings aside, if I was in the game, I would want Cameron back. And the only reason is just that I already know that Jared has one person in the game who he is extremely close to in Cirie, who will basically do anything for him and vice versa. And he also has Blue, a showmance. And if I'm not one of those two people, then I already know with Jared, I am at best his number 3 in the game. Nobody likes Cameron. Nobody really wants to spend time with them. Like Cameron's already getting really arrogant. Like he's getting jealous of the time that America is spending with Corey, which I wish that I did not have to mention at all in this video. It's just, he does and acts in a certain way that just does not make people want to feel good to be around him. And that also signals to me that if you bring him back in the house, people are not going to want to put up with him. And, you know, if Cirie or Blue in HOH, they'll be fine to have Jared around. I just think Cameron is going to be a target easy enough. So if I'm stuck bringing one of these two people back, I very reluctantly say I would rather have Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron's the right person to bring back. I mean, he is definitely going to end up coming in and being a target, and he isn't exactly aligned with anybody the way that Jared is. He's 100% the right person that the majority of the house should want to come back.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Cirie and Felicia, because despite there being a big fight between them, you know, on Sunday's episode, both over Jared's eviction and Cirie wanting Izzy to stay over Felicia, tensions have cooled off.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine enough. It's a situation here where I believe that they both sort of realize a little bit of where the house is aligned, and also the idea that if Jared doesn't come back into the game, and I think it's pretty unlikely that Jared's going to come back at this point, Cirie's going to be viewed as alone and not that much of a target. Like, maybe that's a big issue down the road. It's certainly not going to be a big issue like right away.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it, right? It could bring these two women back together to working together again.
Okay, so this is the biggest question that I think we should all sort of be wondering, because Corey is still wondering it. It's not clear what the rules are when it comes to whether or not he can play in the next HOH. Like, nobody seems to have much of an answer on this. Like, you know, this is just my own tinfoil hat theory. And, you know, I'm not going to pretend I'm the only person who has this, but I think it could just be based on if Jared ends up leaving the game or not, because Jared was Corey's target on the double eviction HOH. And so if his target doesn't end up going out because of the twist, is it really fair then that he is not able to play in the next HOH if Jared wins and then takes him out?
Yeah, this game isn't fair. It's not, it's never been fair, and twists come and screw people over all the time.
It's true.
I would feel that he probably doesn't get to play again. He just was the HOH and he got to play, and, you know, a twist came and screwed him over. Welcome to Big Brother. It's just the way it is. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the way that it is.
And they change rules all the time. Like, we even saw this earlier this season when Kirsten ended up having to be evicted from the game. I think a lot of us, you know, myself included, we didn't think that was going to happen. We thought they were just going to cancel the eviction.
Yeah. The lack of twist or competitions has led to the feeds like coming to a screeching halt. Like, there's, you know, they even gave them like booze in the middle of the afternoon, try to, like, you know, spice things up a little bit. But I mean, like, oh my goodness. It's tough. Like, there's some stuff happening, but it's not a lot. Like, I wonder if the producers are really sitting back being like, I don't know why we thought this was a great idea for a twist. It's kind of like deaded our whole live feed situation. Like, maybe this wasn't such a great idea. I don't know if they'll bring this twist back.
They really have to just be like pounding their head against the wall over this. Like, how did you guys think this was going to be good? Like, I understand circumstances are a little bit weird this week with you not having as many episodes as usual, and you had to switch some things up, but you could still do something. At the very least, could you have at least done something to entertain more live feeders beyond just like giving them a little bit of booze? Like, this is scary week. This is supposed to be scary. Can you not have like someone come over the loudspeaker and just be like, I am a vampire. I am going to come and haunt the mansion overnight. Like, can you not do something?
Speaking of vampires, our Halloween live stream is going to have Matt dressed up as a vampire. So if for no other reason you want to join our vampire live stream, that will be coming up on Halloween.
Yeah, we will have a more representation of Scary Week than anything Big Brother is doing, because they're doing absolutely nothing, and it is so annoying and frustrating. It's making it so that we all just sit back and wonder, okay, like, what matters? I'll give you an example, everybody. they're making all sorts of deals and alliances left and right with
Hmm.
Jared and Cameron, like just in case. But like most of them are just silly and like unserious, and nobody means them. Nobody knows if they're gonna matter long term. It's a total waste to just be like, okay, this person got closer to that person because none
Yeah.
of it matters. And I think they all know that none of it matter. They're all bored. They don't have
Yeah.
anything else to do because the feed masters are not giving them anything else to do. They know that nobody else is going home this week, so they'll just say whatever they're gonna say and then deal with the aftermath. Like the only like group that has come together and had a name is the Fugitives with Cameron, Matt, and Jag, where they've given themselves separate nicknames because the Fugitives was not enough. Jag the Outlaw, Matt the Bounty Hunter, and Cameron the Gunner. This is so ridiculous. Like, why are you guys making an alliance with Cameron and then making an alliance with names with Cameron? Because Cameron will sell all of you out and
I
then name this
know.
alliance like the moment that he feels the need to. But once again, I don't think any of it matters because nothing this week matters.
Okay, let's talk about Jared's conversation with his mom because he told Cirie that Blue may have figured out that they are mother and son without, of course, mentioning his whole role in it. And, Cirie was just like, deny everything, but she doesn't know everything. Like, it's just, why are you going to bother to say something like that and sort of give a half truth to your mom? Because eventually your mom's going to find out that you're the person who did it, whether it's in the house or after when she watches it back and is like, oh, really? Okay. Like, why not just, you're on TV? Like, she's gonna know.
Sarie's going to be, I think, so upset about a number of things after the fact, mostly just because it's fine if your son makes mistakes in the game. Nobody expects perfection here, but it's just the way that he makes these mistakes and the way that he like lies for no other reason. His only reason to
Yeah.
lie in this situation is he's embarrassed that he messed up, that he like felt too much like, ooh, I've got this secret. I'm going to play around with it. I got to like tell someone. And he is the living embodiment now of the Tim Robinson hot dog. I can't believe the guy who did this meme, where it's like, clearly, Jared, you are the guy who did this. You're the only reason any of this has happened.
Yeah, like if you're going to come to Cerie to talk about this and, just give the whole truth because that might be something then Cerie's like, okay, well, maybe it's a mess up or maybe I can use this to my advantage. Like, obviously, my son is close to Blue.
Yeah.
If she knows this, now maybe it's time for me to bring in Blue, bring her in much, much, much closer to me, try to make something there because I mean, Cerie is kind of on her own once Jared leaves.
Okay, so there's a few other like more general important strategic odds and ends to get into the rest
Mhm.
of this video. Just starting with the idea of like who could really be in danger next week depending on who wins HOH. And like
Mhm.
the honest truth is, depending on who it is, there's a ton of possibilities. I think who actually returns, like if it's Cam, there's a good chance it could be Cam, it could be Jared. Like out of right now, I think America and Blue are probably the only two who are more or less 100% safe in almost any iteration. Like, yeah, I think it might be easy to be like, oh, Bowie Jane will be fine. But, who knows with certain people on there? Bowie Jane's just an easy person if you want to get rid of somebody. Okay, so finally here, Matt and Jack are being seen as bigger physical threats by Felicia and McCole. So, like, they're kind of a little bit focusing on them. McCole has talked a little bit of game with Corey these past couple weeks. Like, that's seemingly the big reason for her viewing that way. And then finally, Corey, America, Matt, Jag, and Bowie, like they're still the dominant group for now, but there's a couple of like little side deals here or there. Like
Mhm.
that's the stuff you just kind of have to know about right
Mhm.
now. But like we've said, this week is just not good. Like this is where we are, and maybe big things will happen overnight, but we'll see.
Mhm.
All right, well, we'll tie this video up now. Thank you guys so much for your support. Check out our Patreon. We have a link in the description. And thank you so much to everyone who has supported us. And we'll see you here next time.